Okay, y'all, I'm back with y'all. Wait a minute, that's upright. Ooh, wait a minute, those two not turned down. I'm back with y'all weekly reading. My bad, I had to stop all the way through. I'm gonna upload the weekly reading, and then we're just gonna do all the fire signs, collective energy, and I'm gonna break them down, time steps of just, and we're gonna see, and we're gonna give each and every fire sign a thing that they're gonna work on. So here, this is what it is. We're gonna see what's going on. All right, let's see. For the week situations we're gonna have to deal with, and what's coming about. Let's see. Well, you got the Hermanberg and the Hawk. Oh, probably was none of that. Shuffle like, all right, now here we go. Oh, they got a raccoon spirit. Oh, it didn't come out. Let's see what's coming. Boom. Three cards out. Ooh, you got the Crow. The Crow is a that's an air sign. All right. Now you got four cards. Boom, boom, boom. You got the Zebra, which is that is fire energy. You got the Peacock, which is reversed. Crocodile, you hear me say that. And you got the Swan for the overall mood. Swan is the water type energy, but it's all about the fertility of being in balance and harmony, of the beautifulness of life and the oneness and the divinity. Shit, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm scratching. I got ate up by fucking mosquitoes. Can you see? Look at that. The mosquitoes was tearing me up outside. I said, not today, Satan. Like, look at that. Look at that. Can you see? Like, the mosquito ate my ass up. It's some more, too. They on my leg. Anywho, but you got zebra, peacock, crocodile, and the swan. This could be peaceful situations or the divinity and like with a wholesome type energy that you may be trying to deal with or conquer a sense of peaceness and oneness, trying to straddle over a sense of water or within self. Like you hear me say, the reflection of the swan, like top to bottom, it's the same thing, but in waters and clear waters, and especially in still waters, being able to be reflective. This is the crow. You hear me say that. So that's on the bottom of the deck. But you got zebra and peacock. I like these two, or whatever the case may be, because the peacock is all about paying attention to details, and the zebra also can be a stripes, the fast nature of certain things, just the prettiness, the wholeness of certain things. And then you have the crocodile energy, being able to get under the surface and being able to be, it's getting to the surface, and it's about the sneaky, the creepy type, malicious type behavior, because a crocodile can be the predator energy, so it could be things that you need to watch out for. You hear me say this week details, the grifter type energy. I will put that blog in the link, and you hear me say paying attention to certain things, not just the physical value of how things look. Like this is the crocodile, so this could be beautiful things in harsh realities, or it could be beautiful people with ugly souls. So that's like the reality of this week. That's what I said. Look that up, check that out. Zebra, peacock, crocodiles, and the swan. But you hear me say this is about seeing the beauty in the sense of stillness. So you may be forced to be still this week, or you may be still trying to figure out some gruesome details about the peacock, because the peacock is the energy where you hear me say this. Very beautiful. It can be distracting, especially where you hear me say when peacocks are trying to find mates specifically, they showboast they wings to show the women, whatever the case may be, to being in a sense of mating. Don't ask me how I know this shit, but that's what they do. And so it goes into the energy, but it also talks about paying attention to detail. So that's why I said I started to use the wild unknown, but I said I was gonna use it for the fire sign energy because it was like being heavy. So I said I don't know which one I was gonna use it for. So yeah, we just gonna do a collective reading on that. So we'll see what's coming for the week though. Other than still waters, divinity, communication, honesty, and a sense of transparency, being able to see through things. This is the Five of Swords. That's why I said that stand still, still waters, and waiting for a sense of communication. Or it could be how you may be juggling. Knight of Cups. That's why I said it's juggling a sense of behaviors, stillness, and issues with self. Damn, this is the Fool. That's why I said it's got something to do with opportunities or risk. It may be how you may be viewing something from a rose-colored perspective, and you got the Nine of Swords. This is like stress, communication, dealing with certain things. Um, yeah, this could be that though. The rose-colored glasses. That's what it kind of just gives me though. Rose-colored glasses. Seven of Pentacles, that's why I said things have not came out, but it's kind of like seeds that has been planted of situations. So you may be dealing with situations, you may have to go back and check up on certain things. Even though COVID, people are using COVID as the excuse to where they're not doing certain things for them. It's kind of like making sure if you like signing contracts, dealing with contractual matters, family matters, kids, birthing, because all that thing came out. All this energy you hear me say, it's like seeing the truth in something that is not. So that's why I said it's kind of like making sure with the Seven of Pentacles energy. Making sure. Please make sure you're making sure, because you don't want to sign on to something or view something in a perspective of doing something and only to recognize that it's not benefiting for you or the wholeness of everybody else. Could be family matters. You hear me say we're still tugging on that energy, especially with the Cancerian energy. It is annoying. Page of Cups. And you have the, is it another card behind her? You got Page of Swords with the Three of Wands. You hear me say this is like you willing and ready to take the opportunity. You may feel like you know or learn certain things. The Page is all about, you hear me say the apprentice type ship. We'll see the Three of Pentacles come out, but that's more like the apprentice, you hear me say, before it goes to the knighting and the king and all those different instances when it comes to this. So it's kind of like you may be awaiting something or putting forward that energy too. So you got, Nine of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. So this is stress. This is worry. It could be about home, financial opportunities, or stability, or dealing with internal type conflict. You hear me say in the karmic energy, I said that COVID is just the chaos type energy of people being at home, knowing how to coexist. But a lot of people in family and marriages are now saying that, hey, me and my partner just exist together, but we don't necessarily get along. So this is it. It could be financial debt, could be family, it could be that, because it's just emotional unhappiness. And everybody's just basically uncomfortable in this season. Now you hear me say, as we move on, we got King of Wands and the Nine of Pentacles. You hear me say, you hear me say, a person who does selfish things for selfish gain in the intent of no remorse for anybody else. You could be recognizing that with you or with self, to where you hear me say how you may damage things or things may damage within you, how you recognize because you're not happy in a certain place where you may need to be, or with the people who you coexist with. Coming on out, we got the Magician and we have the World. Like, this is you hear me say, this is Magician, like trying to get ready to take some sort of opportunity where you're trying to understand, where you're trying to see, you're trying to give it your all. But it's just slowness. And the Chariot and the Moon, because there's certain things that is hidden from you. It's the worries, it's the fears. It is it a winning position? Like, will I thrive forward? Like, is it moving in the way that I want to? Like, this is things that is hidden, especially the emotional surface. That's what it kind of gives me though. Like, especially with the energy, you hear me say, Chariot is a cardinal sign, regardless if it's sister sign is Capricorn, but still like the need to win. So we may be dealing with cardinal signs. Could be a Cancer with a Pisces moon. Could be landing on the Ten of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, and the Queen of Pentacles. It could be trying to heal or fix certain rifts in the family, or with your dynamic of family. Ooh. Let earth receive her king. Why is that in my head? Let every heart and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature, and heaven and nature sing. Boom, bottom of the deck. Didn't I say Capricorn, sister sign energy? That's the energy where somebody may be working in this type of moment, or maybe trying to harness some type of control. It could be something that is binding that's coming on. Like you hear me say, especially with the Ten of Wands, the Queen of Pentacles trying to heal long-term situation. Somebody may feel bound, stuck, blocked, suppressed. This is the Ten of Pentacles. You could be locked in some sort of contract, some sort of deal. You hear me say some partnerships back at the Seven of Pentacles, like you seeking some sort of justice, learning about certain things. You hear me say the fairness, the apprenticeship. Like, you may feel like you may not be ready for certain things that you are, but you take them on anyway. And it's just a partnership, and you only recognize that you're giving more to a source and it's giving back to you, because this Capricorn energy is not utilized right. It is more in the energy of where it's very manipulative, sneaky, abusive, and controlling. So Yeah. So that's the energy you may be working with. Not just the Capricorn energy, not just Capricorn sign, but the energy, what I'm talking about from that perspective. Four Swords, Two of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and this is the Page of Pentacles. This is what's hidden behind there. Four Swords. You may be trying to get a new job, new business adventures, new contracts or something, but it's kind of like you doing certain things or moving in a ill, malicious, like a malicious to self intent. It's like you're not thinking properly. It's the lack of boundaries. It may be something you may latch onto that may take more than you, or pushing. Somebody may be pushing this idea of something on you. Like, oh, okay, do this, do this, do this. I don't like peer pressure. Do you like peer pressure? I don't like peer pressure because I'm grown. And I feel like when you get grown, you get set in your ways. And there's certain things that you like to do and you don't like to do. So I feel like it should be consequences to actions. I really do. That may sound childish, but I really feel like it's consequences to actions. But this Four Swords and this Two of Pentacles and this Queen of Wands, this Page of Pentacles. For me, this Queen of Wands and this energy, it could be lacking some sort of backbone and social security within self. So it's like the reliant of the sense of chaos. Like, you ever seen that? Like, for me, this is like you hear me say that may not be, but I'm saying, like, use this as an example, like the negative traits of a Leo, especially uninvolved. Seen this shit, they could suck the life out of a room. Like, this is it. Like, when it comes to the attention, the me, the egotism and all those, they can suck the life out of a room. And you be like, God damn, I gotta be mad because you mad. I gotta be miserable because, like, that type of energy. So it's only about selfish gain. So when things doesn't pan out or work, it's probably checking that behavior of old things that did not work for you. How you violated your boundaries. How you let other people violate your boundaries. And you go off and project this in a sense of... So that's what it is. But you hear me say this here. This could be psychological issues. It could be with parenting situations or with self, or it could just be past hurt contractually or monetary. It gives me long term. Where if you're trying to see some fruits of your labor off the bat, take your time and figure out how much it's going to cost. You got the devil energy. You got Hermit, Virgo energy, Ten of Wands, Ten of Swords, and the Lovers. This is you. You hear me say, even if it's in a love or if it's a contractually, like you hear me say contractual type energy, to where you're looking for something to mirror you. It's kind of like somebody may lack something and not come forward, like henceforward with it. And it's kind of like you're going to have to pull the weight of this over time. If it is dealing with a situation of love, like somebody is looking for, if you're trying to get into relationships, somebody's trying to transfer their burdensome energy onto you. Somebody may be in that mind frame of, this is how I am, and don't want to fix it. So if you're uncomfortable with that, this may be parts of you where you have been like this, or you are like this, but it's hidden with the Piscean energy because it's the need to not all the way accept the defeat. So you may mask it with the Nine of Pentacles energy for it's the material wealth gaining, or people or other people who puts up with this attitude of how you are, but you don't accept other people for how they are. So it just gives me that introspection type thing. Going back, you got Taurus, Hangman, Two of Cups, King of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Ooh, this big stubborn energy. You hear me say this is big stubborn energy. Like you hear me say, like being so accustomed to certain ways. Hangman energy, knowing what you need to let go of, like in those movements of making self-sacrificing things. You hear me say in those type of moments to where it could benefit you from the emotional perspective, but it's kind of like extending that sense of olive branch, or it could just be inability to be able to go there, creativity. That's why I said, if it's contractually or you working with somebody, whatever the case may be, it's kind of like you gonna be the one that's gonna have to take all the work versus somebody else willing to put that in. Bet money. All I gotta say. Bet money. All right. But it does get me here too. You hear me say not in a relationship with somebody at this moment, or it's like bad times. It's kind of like the love there, but it's kind of like two people that don't see eye to eye. Like it's the victim versus the martyr, and a person who more holds on to just the words and the hurt of somebody else's. It's kind of like maybe somebody could be in the energy of taking on too much because they feel like they have to. All right. What's on the bottom of the day? Page of Cups. Get honest. I'm just playing. High priestess, you hear me say, that's the divinity. Everything that this may be ugly people, this may be beautiful people with ugly souls. It's how you may be viewing certain things or the reality of certain people, substances, situations, lovers. Like you may be trying to find love or put yourself in a position of marriage, or you may be recognizing the ugly parts of people that may need to be purged, or you may be leaving some sort of an ugly marriage or whatever the case may be and not knowing what to do. Or it could be uh it just gives me too many eggs in one basket. But if you're working on something, it's somebody else that wants to speak first, but the actions don't back it up. So, say for instance, if you're the financial person that's footing something, right? And then it's another person in the energy where they kind of like, yeah. They talking too much. So in the midst of them talking too much, it's kind of like you have to make sure that you going behind them to fix and cleanse everything. Like that type of energy. It's kind of like, yeah. So let me go in. Let me do this. Like the seller. It's like that hustler mentality. That's why I said I'm so sick and tired of this entrepreneur bullshit. I told y'all that King of Pentacles. Entrepreneurship is cool. I know everybody want to get back to their ancestral roots where we talk about the black and the white and the systematic oppression where black people had their own shit. And a lot of people where you hear me saying those times where black people where they were crafty in those sense, but at the same time black people, you hear me say, owning grocery stores, beauty salons, it was jobs to employ people, not just a hustling ass mentality. That's why I said I don't like this energy. It was to employ, to be bosses. It was something that you hear me say, it built a family, a leadership of people of all to be able to accept it. That's why I don't like this entrepreneur type bullshit, because it creates this sense of arrogancy within people to where they don't know how to coexist or think about others in this energy. So it creates a breach of entitlement. So when people trying to get into relationships or make connections or business partners, because they're so used to maneuvering their way, they don't know how to maneuver with nobody else. That's why I don't like this energy. I'm sorry, y'all, if I'm coming out sassy, but I had to say that though, because that shit really gets on my fucking nerves. Whew. Other than that, 7 of Wands, the 4, the 8 of Pentacles. Yes, this is like wishy-washy, not knowing where you stand, can't make it a definitive decision. Like maybe if you sign something and you waiting on somebody else to come back, right? Or somebody's forcing you into something with the illusion of something that looks good, but it's really not. But it's like, this is that work you're going to have to put into. Like, this is that hard work that needs to pay off. But here's the thing, though. King of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. This being stuck. Like, obligated. Like, this is obligated energy. Like, again, that cleansing type energy coming behind somebody. Like, it's kind of like you can't see in murky waters. You just got, it's kind of like you sitting in the midst of a thunderstorm and you trying to go, and no matter if you go or not, it's like you don't know. You fuck around and hit something in front of you, and now you stuck with the financial costs, the liability, like all those different types of things. That's why I said research the peacock, research the crocodile, research the zebra, and the swan. So that's why I said this here, King of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. Over time, you will be stuck into something that you will fight yourself hell to get out of. I wish the Tower card come out. Knight of Pentacles. That's what I said, over time. Like, say, for instance, though, as much as we talk about karmic cycles, let's just say, if this was you coming up and doing certain things like this to other people, it's kind of like Pied Piper, like, yeah, we're going to put you in this so you can learn. Yes, I wanted a Tower type card. I really did. It's not in a sense of bad, but it's just saying some things need to be destroyed. Before, I had deleted the whole reading because it had started picking up other things. The hawk had came about, and the hawk and the animal spirit guide book, I think that you hear me say that's the root chakra, and I liked it, the Tower that it came out, because that's a part of ascending, the Ten of Pentacles, shedding old ways, old thinking, things that you're just so accustomed to, especially with all this earth coming out, like big stubborn type energy. So that's why I say I liked it, this Knight and the Tower type moment. You hear me say this is here. Like, this is here. Like, it just looks like somebody wants somebody to put the fire out. That's enough. It's not like the energy of somebody trying to actually fix it. Like, you know how you see big corporations where they going bad, and they trying to get rid of everything, and they kind of like, no, 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 but we just need this person to come in and buy this, or whatever the case may be. And you get in, you like, what the fuck? And then people don't want to actually change shit to actually make the money to do certain things, and know that it's going to take time. With the Seven of Pentacles reverse, you're gonna have to put in the work. You're gonna have to go through the clearing out certain people, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna sacrifice nights at home where it's gonna boil over that. Like, that's what it is. It's like, yeah, this gotta go, this gotta go, this gotta go, this gotta go. Because it's not always bad when the tower moments come out. Like, it takes a tower type moment to be in a sense of freedom, because the Wheel of Fortune is saying that you've been trying to harvest on like tainted soil. Tainted soil. So that's kind of like individuals with people or situations that do not work with you, they work against you. Like, it's that. Empress, the Six of Swords, and the Nine of Cups. That's why I said over time it's kind of like being too kind, too nice. It could be that like somebody don't want to let something go, because if they move on, this is the fear of like, what if it doesn't work? What if I'm not happy? But just kind of like being stuck in this situation contractually, or stuck in something non-contractually, or a relationship, the old dynamic, like that. Is kind of like you would rather stay and be miserable and leave. You would rather stay in a situation mentally, emotionally, just stuck where you miserable, or you would rather leave with the uncertainty, feeling sadness because you had to mourn something that need to be let go of. So that's why I said that. It's weird. Ooh, Five of Cups. Look. Look. Five of Cups. Look at the energy, though. I said that mourning, the loss. But even though all is lost, loss is not forgotten. Look at those Three of Cups. Especially when it comes to team building practices. There go that partnership, you hear me say. You may have thought that partnering up with these people was beneficial, but it really was the people that you really didn't see no value in. That's why I said in a karmic post, and I keep saying that, don't judge your help. Don't judge those. Like, people can underestimate people. Before I had did a reading, I had did one like the animal cards for me this week. It was the oyster, the scorpion energy, and it was the turtle, which is so weird because you hear me say that is me. Like, I take everything with me. You hear me say the turtle is his home. Like, it is adaptable, and the energy is his water, all water. The oyster hides his gifts, but it's like beauty in there with the pearls, and it's wisdom and the scorpion energy, where you hear me say like needing to see through certain things, but the possessiveness over what it holds. But that's why I said this Five of Cups, this is the morning energy, where you get caught up into certain things and not recognizing like, well, I got this. So that's why I said, yeah, you can take some things or someone with you, but I don't think it's gonna be a lot if it's a business or reconstruction. Now that's, I don't think it's gonna be a lot. This is the Emperor. Like, maybe it was an old boss or someone, you hear me say, that took a sense of control, that didn't know how to actually control. Like, this is somebody where you hear me say that pretends to be a leader, but they're really not a leader. Like, this person can be can cause blowback on other people and not know what it is, the situations that they take, especially with this King of Pentacles being rooted in the sense of entrepreneurship or business, taking risky risk. They're not sure in what it is that they want. They not sure. Like, this is a person where you hear me say with the Page of Cups, it's kind of like, well, I want to do this, but they don't believe in that sense of a material sense. So it's kind of like when it goes to selling it to other people get caught up in this shit, only to recognize that I've been bamboozled, I've been hoodwinked, like, what the fuck? So in order for somebody to actually take a sense of control the right way, again, when we're going through those companies, where those companies have to cut down, pay out, all those different type of things, where they're actually losing money to rebuild, they have to cut out the old to bring in the new. Five of Cups reverse, Five of Wands reverse. That's what I said. It just gives me this illusion, though. I'm telling you, like, this is somebody, you hear me say, over time, that has had a sense of power. They have abused it, and it's kind of like they may be trying to sell or push it to someone else to say, here you go. And then here's the Two of Wands and the Strength and the Six of Swords. Like they trying to force you into something to make it try to seem good, but it's really not good. Only for you to get in and recognize, like, oh my God, it's kind of like you buying a house, and you never got like a house inspection or whatever the case may be, because you really trusted this person, came from a reliable source in that type of matter, only to recognize the plumbing is shitty, the flooring is weak, the roof needs redone, you got electrical wires, that shit costs. So now you hear me say you stuck when it comes to you, what it is you need to do. So when it comes to the decision that needs to be made about the team or what needs to be let go of, now you sitting here and it puts you in a position where you're very defensive because somebody abused your trust because they looked like they could do the job, but they really couldn't do the job, or they gave you this illusion to where now you like, God damn. Because you was being forced in this midst of indecision because somebody had the overly, what's that salesman type energy, that grit to give this to you, to say, okay, to constantly push you in this decision. It's like, I don't like this shit. That's why I see you kind of like, yeah, okay, all right. That's why I said the crocodile. I'm going to read that for y'all, the crocodile, when I finish. This is the Ace of Cups. It's just like they looking for an offer in hand, but they won't say it. But they can't say it because when his Emperor is reversed, he has no patience. He has no time. Like, he's just not going to say it. He's just like, I'm going to just create a fuss until you notice it. Like that type of energy. So it could be relationships. It could be partners. I'm sorry, y'all, if you was looking for a relationship. But I told y'all that ain't really been my spirit of what I want right now. That I make sure I hit on that in the collectives reading. So I'm going to try to push out to the top. 2 tops. I'm going to try to push out 2 tonight tops. Fire and earth. That's going to be the main ones. Trying to see what else trying to come out before we flip. Alright, what's on the bottom of the deck? 3 of Pentacles. 3 of Pentacles. That's why I say it's something that you may need to learn, or being an apprentice type ship when it comes to you, or a sense of life, or this. Like, before I created my blog post, you hear me say I used to create them. I used to write like journal notes, and like somehow they the other people used to get them. You hear me say like weekly check-ins. I used to do them 2-3 times a week or whatever the case may be. It was me going through my pain and me just in a sense of self-reflection. So at that moment, before I created the blog, and I was like, damn, I want to know, do somebody got a website for us? This, all this other stuff. It's kind of like I was my own apprentice in those type of moments. Like, I had to learn what it is that I want. Even though I knew that I had said what I wanted, but I had to be in a state of readiness and eagerness to learn. So I would go back and I would self-reflect over certain things as well as other people would. The things that I would write about or talk about, it was kind of like in that moment I was my own apprentice. Because in that time when I was going through like this tower type moment, dealing with people who take advantage, false leaders, people who say they know how to run a business, they know how to plant seeds to get a dream. You hear me say all that I was dealing with, I was the apprentice, like studying the master, even though the master was the Emperor, not just Aries, and not just Aries energy. It may be for you, it's more just a person who doesn't know how to control. Didn't think sure, didn't, you know what I'm saying? Well, I'm kind of like, damn, we going from one thing to another. So when I created my blog, I was like, hell no, this a brand. I was like, we ain't doing none of this sideways ass hustling shit. I was like, no, we gonna learn. Because when I was sitting up watching, you hear me say Amazon, Apple, like all the big corporations, I was like, if Apple sell us the same phone in a year, it's a brand. Because that's what they stand for. So they have to recreate it to give these people the product. It don't matter. You hear me say, even with Nike and what's his name, Michael Jordan, in those instances, like, it don't matter. That's a brand. That's who he was in his time. People want to be a part of this sense of movement. So I was like, shit, bitch, I gotta think of something. I was like, ain't nobody shaking this. So this is what I learned, because you hear me say, over time being tethered to that old project, I ain't learned shit. Like, I learned shit, but it didn't bring no fruitfulness. It was like the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, it was the illusion, the peacock, where it's like, okay, all right. And then I was like, no, I don't want to. Like, am I good? I kept saying no, but then somehow I still ended up in that situation. So that's why I said, be mindful when you're paying attention to certain shit, because you may have to be an apprentice, no matter, even if you're rich, not rich, got money, your ducks in a row. Sometimes you got to sit back and observe certain things to see if it's really for you, or you're willing to be a learner in those type of moments. And there could be some tough things for people who are always in a sense of control, always needing to control. That type of energy where you learn how to take the back seat, and not because you don't have no power, but it's more in the energy of, well, let me see how they do their shit. That energy. And it's not saying to take away from you. That's why I say you got Eight of Cups, the Knight of Wands, the Sun, and the Page of Cups. Like, this is you walking away from dishonesty, untruthfulness, like all those different types of things. Being like walking away and walking into, you hear me say, those sense of you. Like, that's why I said kind of gives me like somebody gonna reach back out to you or tell you something. It was a contractual obligation. It was something. But it's a returning of something or someone, and they coming back. And it's kind of like this apologetic type energy, and they're very gun-ho, or they're selling this to somebody else, or whatever the case may be. But it's kind of like the truth is shed on the matter. It's kind of like they don't believe in it, I don't believe in this shit, so no, I'm walking away fucking good. Like, this is over time where you hear me say drained, depleted. Like, this is what the sun comes to do when you hear me say stand outside too long. You feel like, damn, I'm thirsty, I'm hot, like that type of energy. And then you get charged up enough to where, you know, that fire energy where people stay in heat and they get fired up and shit. But this is not reverse. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm walking away for good. Like, I'm fucking walking away for good. Like, I seen this shit and I'm walking away for good, because this is the Seven of Swords. That's why I said this is somebody that was a grifter, manipulative, sneaky, that crocodile energy or whatever. Like, when you see them hunting, like, go, it's just a minute video, but go watch a crocodile hunt, and then just watch how they be in the water, and just a little, what is it? It'll be just a what's some little thing called a little hippo. But they got teeth though. They carnivores too, like a motherfucker. But let's just say they sitting there and they just eating, and they walking up on them, and then they just rawr, and could have just ate, like that type of energy. So that's why I said this is somebody that's trying to turn over a new leaf, but this is you like being truthful. This is you being truthful to say, because it's kind of like you hear me say, if you are an apprentice or you dealing with a toxic situation, it's kind of like making you be accountable for a sense of the past. Like, say for instance, you was a risky person coming up with business, and you partnered up with somebody. It's making you self-reflect. Well, like, damn, I used to do sneak ass shit, this grift ass shit, da-da-da-da, shit. And it's making you sit down where you kind of like, I can fix it, but do I really want to? Like, taking the emotions off the table, because it may be emotionally triggering you in a type of moment where you kind of like, why, like that type of energy, to where it's this, to where you kind of like, fuck this shit. You know, like where you trying to fix some contractual or something, obligation, or just being tethered to something, and it's kind of like, god damn, they took everything. This is all they fucking left. They told me this was this much, but god damn, this is the only thing left. Like, say for instance, if it's a 7-figure company, and or it's like a 7-figure company, or they make 7 figures, and it's kind of like they left somebody with just 20 bands, and that is so sorry. And I'm not laughing at the money concept, but this is like what they may tell you what it's worth, and this is what you may meet in that first time. But 20 bands can be a lot to somebody, depending on if you got merch, product, whatever it is you're trying to push out. But that's the energy where you kind of like, god damn. But everybody go through this, you hear me say, especially that. So let me wrap this up. And that's how I was going to read the crocodile energy for y'all. You got Temperance, 4 of Pentacles, Judgment, 4 of Cups, and the 9 of Wands. There we go. That impatience over time. Like that peace, that tranquility, like being forced to let go of certain things. If you haven't made the decision, I would say be patient, because this is just somebody trying to breach to get you to let that down, for you can be like, make the decision. Like, that's what it is, kind of like a forceful. It's kind of like, make it, but it's like, it's not a good judgment call. Like you hear me say, the emotional blackmail. I said, if you at a cookout, you with a family member, y'all know y'all been arguing, and they just pop up on you, and they say, nah, but they ain't been answering me, and they ain't been doing this. That's emotional blackmail, because if I get you like this on an emotional response to catch you off guard, you're bound to give me a yes instead of a fucking no. That's peer pressure. I tell you, I don't like that shit. People do shit like that. I'm telling you. Crocodile energy, check that out. Scorpio, Page of Wands, Two of Swords, Six of Pentacles, the Five, and the Justice. This is a clearing out of that. I told y'all, if y'all ever see somebody on a revenge path or trying to get the fuck over something, or whatever the case may be, this is the energy where it comes in and it say, fuck all this shit. Where you hear me say, like, the Scorpios can be impulsive, and the queen and kings of self-sabotaging. It's kind of like, nah, bitch, if we going, we all going down. To clear this out. So you may feel like that, like it's a grim reaper coming in. It's like, god damn, you know. But it's gifting you this. If it's a sense of harsh truth and reality, to adjust with, damn. Like that, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something where you can't fight. That's what the standstill is there, where the truth is just constant. Food, food, food. And it's just like this, the balance. That's why I said it's like some of y'all was like this in so old business cycles or whatever the case may be. And that is where you're met with this, where you kind of like, damn. Because this is the Knight of Cups and the Three of Cups. Like, this is it. Like, this is that energy where you hear me say that realistically, like that malicious, that the Three of Cups, you hear me say going back to zero, feeling like you have nothing or someone. This is being two-faced. This is that quick type behavior, that gossipy, gathery type energy of people. You hear me say lower vibrational beings and things. Like things who don't see things clearly, the trampling over other people's emotions. So that's why I said this may be that from a karmic type part. That's it though. It just gives me like a karmic part. So if you was like a risky person in business, it's kind of like you thrusted upon some situation where you kind of like, yeah, but you kind of like stuck and emotionally, pissed. But it's like once you get out your emotions, if you in this sense, you can fix it because it was you who done did this before. That's what it is. It's kind of like you don't get it. But it's like the emotions aspect, because it's like, god damn, and the people and the malicious, envious type intent, even if you're not in an environment or you seen this type of environment, you know it from an emotional response. It's just triggering you because you ain't have to deal with this. But if you are, somebody's trying to poach you to get you to see something from this perspective, to get you locked in on something because you bring something of value that they can't. So, okay. This is Three of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, the Star, and the Queen of Cups. There we go. That's why I said this is you. Emotionally depleted, drained, tired, feeling like areas that need to be highlighted are not really highlighted in this moment. Harsh communications. It could be a person trying to tell you something or communicate with you that is so abrupt. You kind of like, god damn, bitch. Like, that's what it feels like. So this is the energy where it's like, oh my god, what the fuck? That's why I said this got something to do with somebody past life contractually. Because look what's up under there. This is the Seven of Pentacles. And it is recuperation, and it goes back to the two. And then you have the Capricorn energy. That's why I said this is something that is tethered to you, a part of you from your past, shadowy, controlling type aspect to get. And you hear me say this is a monetary sense, so this is old ways that's embedded in part of you. Boom. But it's cool though if you're fixing it, you try to work it for better. But this is a Star, Queen of Cups, and Star, Queen of Cups, and this is the humanitarian energy. You got this. If you're in a situation, you got this to be able to see, because if people explain shit to be so amazing and they don't tell you the flaws, please be mindful, because it's a I was going to say a joke, but I can't say that in this time. Controversial, but it's funny though. You know how they say, I can't say it. I can't say it because it's funny though. It's really funny, but I'm gonna catch a lot of slack. So let me read y'all this Crocodile Dundee. Crocodile. shit, there it is, the first one. It's a resting, submerging, collecting. This is collecting energy and cooling off. When it is out of balance, it feels stuck and lashes out. That's where you hear me say that. The crocodile reminds us to step back from the external world and turn inward. Now is not the time for decisions, actions, or discussions. The crocodile mantra is wait. That's why I said watch it as it eats its prey. This doesn't mean lying around hoping life challenges will disappear. The crocodile is much smarter than that. It means intentionally withdrawing, gathering awareness, observing and building energy, filling up the vital resources. So your next move comes from a place of wisdom and power. That's why I said one of y'all been here before and y'all know exactly what you're dealing with. But once you get out your emotions, you'll be able to deal with it. Even if it's a relationship. I'm sorry y'all if that's what y'all looking for, but I try to pull it out the next time. But this is more business, contractually, stuck, home, teamwork, that type of thing. Yeah, that's why I say it's real tricky when you get into partnerships with certain people, especially with business. Business and personal do not go hand in hand. It really does not. Sometimes it does work for the best, but sometimes even the best who know how to compartmentalize business and personal get caught up in those relationships to where the relationship was personal and now it turned business and now it's just business and now you want the friend and you don't know how to get that back. So it's tricky though. That's why you see so many people who are of the sorts of the limelight try to date people outside of that so it won't mesh. It's weird, but opposites attract. So other than that though, I believe in y'all. I'm finna upload this. Then we coming back with the other reading and I got an editor. Boom.